And I don't want to jump the gun here, but the Rogue is kind of about a group of tourists too, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I've got this thing about people being just going into the outback and having a bad time. I mean, Rogue is about an American travel writer played by hunky LA actor Michael Vartan, who goes into the outback to report on tourism in outback Australia. And he goes on a river cruise and they run into trouble with a particularly large saltwater crocodile. So, I don't know, maybe there's some sort of running theme there with... hopefully the next film won't be about destroying tourists in the outback, but
yeah,
we'll see.
You can try the Barrier Reef, perhaps, yes.
That's a great idea.
We've actually got Michael Vartan. We're going to go across to him in a minute, but firstly, there's a 9 a.m. exclusive. You've got some footage to show us from behind the scenes of the shooting of Rogue.
Yeah, I believe so. Let's
take a look and see what's going on here. Now, where did you shoot this?
Okay, this is actually one of our sets out at Warburton.
Wow.
Because we shot in... there's Will Gibson, our brilliant cinematographer. We shot for 3 weeks in Northern Territory in Arnhem Land at a place called Red Lily, which was a remarkable Aboriginal sacred site. This is a set out at... it's jumping all over the place. This is Catherine. We shot at Catherine Gorge. The access...
Part of the world, isn't it?
This was 40 degrees every single day, so basically we were just sweating the whole time as we were shooting. It was quite an amazing experience being up there with 80 people. Real saltwater crocodiles running all over the place. The first day we got there, Rada Mitchell, who had just arrived from Los Angeles 2 days before, we put her into the boat, which she was the captain of with 8 other cast members, and she had to literally drive this boat up and down this crocodile-infested river for 2 days while speaking all this complicated dialogue about crocodiles and how they work and stuff. So she was a trooper. So
what you're trying to say is actors actually earn their money, but I'm sure Michael, who joins us now from Los Angeles, he just thinks it's a breeze. Good morning, Michael. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
I think I just heard him. I heard him say 40 degrees. Yeah, it might have been 40 degrees behind his comfortable monitor with the air conditioning. On the boat, it was 51.8. Thank you very much.
51.8, approximately.
Yes, that's true.
How did you enjoy the outback?
It was an amazing experience on every level. Personally, it's one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen, and the conditions were, as Greg mentioned, very hard, but in a way I think that brought us all much closer together, and quite quickly, really, because we had this common enemy, which was the heat and the crocodiles. But it was truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I got to see parts of Australia that very few people get to see, so it was pretty amazing.
Was it weird for you to be an American actor then coming to Australia? I mean, we do it enough over there. The Australians sort of launch onto the LA movie scene, but other way around for you?
Yeah, no, I didn't really know what to expect. You know, unlike most Americans, I knew there weren't kangaroos hopping through the streets of Melbourne. I knew that
don't
much.
Tell them that, though.
Thank goodness for that.
But no, you know, the cast and crew, I can honestly say, are probably the greatest group of people I've worked with in my 18 years in this business. And they were so welcoming right off the bat and made me feel so comfortable. And you know, from day one, we just all got along, and it was truly a labor of love on every level.
Is it much different coming from the LA way of making movies to come to Australia and work with an Australian crew and an Australian director in Australia?
Very much so. The main difference that I noticed was in terms of the crew. There really isn't any hierarchy. Everyone pulls their own weight. Everyone's got a job to do, but is very happy to help, you know, someone else do theirs if they can. There's no, you know, none of the typical LA. I don't know if I can say bullshit on Australian TV.
No,
I did.
no,
you can't say that.
You hear.
You can say bloody hell, but you can't say that word.
Crock poop. It was we really were a unit, you know, from Greg, and you know, not to compliment him too much, but it does come all from the director. He chooses the people he wants to work with, and you know, he put together an amazing group of actors and a crew that we really gelled. It was a wonderful experience.
While you were out here, Michael, I seem to remember seeing you just about every day in the gossip pages of the paper, out at clubs with a different girl. You just couldn't keep your hands off the Australian women, could you?
Well, it must be a really boring stretch down there if I made the papers every day. No, you know, listen. You work hard, you play hard, and
yeah, make them and we break them.
Well, you didn't break me yet. Hopefully.
What do you think of
Rogue 2?
What do you think of Australian women, Michael?
Specifically, Australian women. I'd say what I think of Australians in general is that it's a... That was a nice dodge. Honestly, the greatest country I've ever been to. I want to move there. It's going to be a little difficult with work, but it truly was an experience of a lifetime for me. I made friends in 4 months there that I feel I will have for a lifetime. And there's an ease, there's a kindness, there's a basic sort of, you know, when Australians say no worries, they actually mean it. Yeah. Whereas when they say that over here, they don't really mean it. It's a lot of worries,
Greg,
many worries.
Greg, what did Michael bring to the role?
Uh-oh. Here we go. No, there's this saying that I have, which is, you know, the casting process is one of the most stressful of setting up any film, you know.
Really?
Oh, it is, because basically there's a time frame, and you know, you have a start date, and basically you have all the ideas of who you want, and your ideas change, and you're constantly trying to think, you're trying to juggle about 20 different things. And we had 8 lead roles in the movie, but obviously that was, you know, Michael's part was the most critical part for us to get right. And you know, there's that whole thing.
Straight, then my job gets really easy, because what I'm meant to do.
The first time I spoke to Michael, he had just seen Wolf Creek at a cinema in Los Angeles. His agent set up a screening for him so I could see if he wanted to do the film. And I spoke to him, and you know, I was really, really wanting him to do it. And I just said, I was completely honest. I said, look, this is going to be really hard. It's going to be really terrible, actually. If you don't want to go into horrible conditions, if you want to have a huge trailer and all this kind of crap, you don't do the movie. And he said, no, I know, I'm interested in it. And I just undersold it. And it was nothing other than just saying, it's now or never. Like, this is what it's actually going to be like. You know, and if you love the script and if you want to do it, I really want you to do it. And you know, I think
like it won't be the Hollywood glamour.
No, I just was frank about what the experience was going to be, which is it's a tough movie to make. And I think that kind of set the tone for the relationship, and it was a very honest working experience. And you know, I was a fan before, and now I'm a huge fan, because now I know him personally, and he's a really great, you know, a great person to be around. And you know, for a very hard shoot, he kind of lifted everyone's spirits all the time, particularly when we spent 4 weeks climbing around, you know, literally crawling around in mud in a wetsuit. And I had to do it one day when I had to stand in for him. And I did it for half an hour, and I'm out here. And he did it for 4 weeks without complaining, at least to me. So,
so now you've finished shooting. You finished shooting Rogue. So you go into the post-production business now. So
yeah.
You'll be teaming up again, I imagine, with Michael throughout post-production.
Yeah.
What's next? I know in a lot of big American movies, they do a lot of post-syncing. Yeah. Do you go into that? I mean, is there a large amount of that to go into now?
There will be a bit on this, but not a lot. We have a sound recorder who is a phenomenal genius, and the Wolf Creek we didn't do one line of ADR on the whole movie, which is remarkable. This film we may do a little bit, because we had a lot of rain during the shoot, so sometimes we had to have a cover over the actors while they were doing their work, and you can actually hear rain hitting the top of the tent. So we might do a little bit of cleanup like that, but hopefully not. But I mean, we now start cutting for 6 months, and there's a lot of visual effects in this film as well. So it's all hammer and tongs right now till December 8th when we deliver. So hopefully we'll finish by Christmas and then put the movie out first part of next year.
And Michael, what's next for you?
Going back to Alias to finish season 5, and then basically waiting for Greg to get a next project off the ground so I can be in it.
And be in Melbourne, in the bars of Melbourne.
Exactly, living it up.
Yes.
Gentlemen, thank you both for coming in. We should point out that the Wolf Creek DVD is out now as we speak, so anyone can go and grab that. I'm looking forward to seeing it myself.
Thank you both for your time this morning.
Thank you.
All the best.
After the break, kitchen goddess Ariane.